Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. You know, the MAC may not be the best and most fun or most competitive or most exciting conference in the country, but it does bring us the midweek MACtion. Those midweek football games that get us through all the way to the weekend. But when you're watching those games this upcoming season, guys, you need to know about the teams that you're watching. And that's what we're here to bring you today with our MAC predictions heading into this college football season. Before we get started, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, including our expert picks over on our website, thegridironexpert.com, some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country. And also check out our Gridiron Expert Discord server. That is free of charge, guys. Come join that Discord server to talk college football with us year-round. Link for that and the expert picks down in the description below. So we're going to do some quick hitters throughout the MAC. We're going to start over in the East Division with Miami of Ohio. Miami, Ohio, the Redhawks, 8-4, 7-1 in conference play. And many will say that's a shot considering that Miami went 7-6 last year. But Brett Gabbert returns at quarterback. Helped get them to that MAC championship game a few years ago. He's still there. The running back core is extremely deep. The offensive line, extremely deep. They return 6 starters on defense, and they play in the weakest division of the MAC. The East is by far clearly the weaker division compared to the West. They also draw Western Michigan, Ball State, and Northern Illinois in their cross-division games. Could be a lot worse. They avoid Toledo. They avoid Central Michigan. They even avoid Eastern Michigan. So not a bad draw for Miami, Ohio, 8-4, 7-1, without a doubt the best team in the East. The rest, we don't even have going bowling. Bowling Green is the closest at 5-7, along with Kent State. Two-way tie here. Obviously, we give the edge to Bowling Green. The Falcons last year pulled off an upset over Minnesota. That was one of the bigger moments for this program, one of the bigger upsets of the season. They also had 3 one-possession losses, so a 4-8 season easily could have been a 6 or 7-win season. So they're getting close. They're getting close to bowl eligibility. This year they take a step closer. 17 starters are back, including their quarterback, Matt McDonald, but he's got to improve across the board if he wants to get the Falcons to a bowl game. And ultimately, I think they fall just short, just like I think Kent State falls just short at 5-7, 4-4. Keep in mind that 3 of Kent State's losses are going to come in non-conference play against Washington, Oklahoma, and Georgia. An absolutely brutal non-conference slate, but one that's going to make Kent State a lot of money heading into these next few years. But you look at Kent State, guys, they draw Miami, Ohio on the road. They draw Toledo on the road out of the West. They lose their star dual-threat quarterback in Dustin Crum. It's going to be a rebuilding process for Sean Lewis and the Golden Flashes. 5-7, almost making a bowl game, but ultimately fall just short. Buffalo in at 4-8. Kyle Van Treese, their star quarterback, transferred out to Georgia Southern. A big surprise for many Bull fans. So Matt Myers, who had plenty of experience, steps in at quarterback for the Bulls. The question is, will he do enough? Because he's kind of been mediocre during his career. Maurice Linguist, guys, across the board has the work cut out for him. Has many questions on offense. Still has a very questionable rushing defense. One that's going to be ultimately the downfall for the Bulls over the course of this year. They went 4-8 last year. We expect the same this year. And then Ohio and Akron rounding out the East at 3-9 and 2-10. The Bobcats went 3-9 last year, their worst season since 2003. Curtis Rower comes back in at quarterback and is the bona fide star on offense. It's really the rest of the offense around him that needs help, and also the defense that was very, very bad last year, to put it simply. And then Akron, of course, my future head coaching job here in a couple of years. You know, if you know, you know. But the Zips, guys, 2-10, 1-7. Joe Moorhead does return as head coach of the Zips, but we know Akron's a major rebuilding project, right? No one expects the Zips to be a contender anytime soon. We know that they've been the worst team in the MAC for a long time now. It's going to take a while to build them back up. Joe Moorhead's attempting to do that with 15 starters returning, plus a lot of transfers. I expect Akron to be a lot more competitive than they have been in years past, but not enough to start flirting with bowl eligibility or even pulling off a handful of upsets within the conference. Over on the West, Toledo coming in at number 1. Clearly, guys, this is the more competitive of the two divisions, right? I mean, Toledo and Central Michigan in a tie for first. Northern Illinois right behind them. Eastern Michigan also going bowling in our eyes. So, very, very competitive team. We got 4 bowl teams in the West compared to just 1 in the East. But you take a look at Toledo, guys. 7-6 last year, kind of a disappointing year for the Rockets. But DeQuan Finn is back at quarterback, dual threat QB that took very good care of the football. They also returned 7 starters on defense from the number 1 defense in the MAC from last year. They have a very favorable schedule, including one that has a home game against Central Michigan. And obviously, we do have Toledo winning that game, which will end up being the tiebreaker in who wins the division. But right behind Toledo, though, guys, if the Rockets slip up somewhere else, the Chippewas could come take that number 1 spot. Central Michigan returned so much talent from a team that won 9 games last year, including their bowl win over Washington State. Daniel Richardson is back at quarterback, but the bigger guy that comes back is Lou Nichols, who led the nation with 1,848 rushing yards. Over 1,800 rushing yards in one season. Lou Nichols led the nation. They returned their biggest playmakers on offense, including the quarterback and running back. They returned 3 starters only on defense, but they were very, very good against the run. So if they can fix up that secondary, the Chippewas could be the real deal. We have them at 8-4 and a shot at another 9-win season if they can win their bowl game. Do not sleep on Jim McElwain's squad. Underneath them, Northern Illinois, a team that went 9-5 and won the MAC last year. They kind of came out of nowhere, right? Had a horrible 2020. No one expected much of them in 2021. Won 9 games and won the MAC. But it should be noted that 7 of the Huskies' 9 wins came by 1 possession. So a 9-win season, a year where they won the championship, easily could have been another horrible 2, 3, 4-win season, right? But still, unbelievable year for the Huskies. You look at them, though. They lose Jay Ducker at quarterback. That is the biggest loss for them. Big loss at the running back position because Northern Illinois wanted to run the ball last year. Now they lose their workhorse. Rocky Lombardi does return at quarterback, so they have consistency at arguably the most important position. But you can't help but wonder, will the Huskies be able to maintain their rushing numbers from last year, and can their defense, that was horrendous, improve any? Still have them going bowling 7-5, still only 1 win out from first place in the West, but not going to be able to repeat as MAC champions. Eastern Michigan in at 6-6. Very, very favorable schedule for the Eagles guys. Went 7-6 last year. Yes, they lose their quarterback, Ben Bryant, who chose to transfer back to Cincinnati. He transferred out of the Bearcats program. Now he's transferring back in. But you look at the schedule. They host Toledo. They host Central Michigan. They host Miami, Ohio. All the big games for Eastern Michigan are at home, which means if they can shore up their quarterback position, they've got a lot of talent on the offense outside of that, they're going to be set. They're going to be set. They've got a very, very favorable schedule, guys. They also host Northern Illinois, Toledo, and Central Michigan. So, like we just said, this is a very, very good Eastern Michigan squad, guys. One that, if they fall short of a bowl appearance, would be viewed disappointing. But 6-6, this is a team that they can win a couple games at home over arguably the better teams, could win the West, and there's no doubt about that. The biggest thing is figuring out the quarterback spot. Last 2 guys, you got Ball State and Western Michigan here. Ball State coming in at 5-7. Last year, the Cardinals went 6-7. A very disappointing year after they made the MAC championship the year before. They're dealing with a brand new quarterback. Only 3 starters back on defense from a unit that was not that good. I believe Mike New's squad is going to struggle quite a bit in 2021. Flirt with bowl eligibility. 3 conference wins, 1 win away. But after last year, they kind of seem to be going in a decline. Last year was disappointing, losing their bowl game, and this year they lose even more. I just don't see them going back to the postseason. And the same can be said for Western Michigan. I hate picking the Broncos to finish last in the West, and I actually can go out and say I might be very wrong on this. But when you look at a Western Michigan squad that loses their star quarterback in Caleb Ellaby, they lose their star running back in Sean Tyler, and their star wide receiver in Sky Moore, when they practically have to replace their entire offense, you can't help but wonder, is this team going to struggle? They probably are. Factor in that they have a rough non-conference slate at Michigan State, a home game against Pittsburgh, a road game at San Jose State. They have to draw a road game at Miami, Ohio out of the East. The schedule was not favorable to Tim Lester's Broncos squad. Again, the offense is going to be a major area of concern. They're going to have to be carried by their defense, and eventually that's going to take a toll on them by season's end. So I want Western Michigan to go bowling. I love watching this Broncos team, but I think they're going to be in a bit of a rebuilding year in 2022. So having said all of that, guys, you look at these standings, these are the records, these are the teams you're going to be watching in midweek Maction. But when Championship Saturday rolls around, you're going to be watching Toledo versus Miami, Ohio, 2 8-4 teams. And we're going to go out there and say right now we believe it is Toledo that wins the MAC. You look at this team, guys. They are loaded offensively. Very good quarterback. Will be a great quarterback battle between DeQuan Finn and Brett Gabbert. But when it comes down to defense, I believe Toledo owns that edge. And Toledo desperately needs a division title, desperately needs a conference title under Jason Candle. I believe he finally delivers after a very long drought by Toledo standards. Toledo finally delivers. They win the MAC, 9 wins and a shot at 10 if they can win their bowl game. So guys, as always, thank you so much for watching us here at the Gridiron Expert on YouTube. Make sure to continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos, and of course, check out everything down in the description below, including those expert picks, like we mentioned, some of the best college football and NFL spread picks in the entire country. Make sure to sign up for those today over on the gridironexpert.com. Also, make sure to sign up for our Gridiron Expert Discord server. The link for that down in the description as well. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. And we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.